This video is going to focus on dividing decimals when you are dividing them by a whole number divisor, and we are going to mainly focus on dividing them using long division. If you are not very confident in your long division skills, I recommend you look at my previous videos on how to divide using long division, and then come back to this video. With that said, if you enjoy it, please make sure you subscribe, pass it along to any friends who are also working on dividing decimals by whole numbers, and let's get started. Our first example is going to be dividing 4 2/10 by 3. Now, remember when we are dividing that the first number is our dividend, the second number is our divisor, and then we're looking for the quotient. That's the answer. And when we're using long division, the dividend, which in this case is 4 2/10, goes underneath our division, or our long division bracket. The divisor, which is 3 in this case, goes on the outside. And then our quotient ends up being up top when we are done. So now that we've set up the problem, 4 2/10 divided by 3, you'll notice that I have a decimal under here. We can take care of this decimal right away, and then we don't have to worry about it for the rest of the problem. And to take care of it, all we have to do is put it right above where it is. So it's right there, and it's going to end up right up there. That's where it's going to end, or that's where it's going to be located when we have our quotient. Now, we can just ignore that decimal point. We can just treat this as if it was 42 instead of 4 2/10. So let's start dividing by 3. Ask ourselves, how many times does 3 go into 4? And the answer is 1. So that's a pretty terrible 1. Hold on, let me fix that. And then 3 times 1 is 3. And we can subtract. 4 minus 3 is 1, and then bring down the 2. Let me scoot this up a little bit. Now, we are dividing 12 by 3. So how many times does 3 go into 12? And that is 4. And notice how, just like in regular long division, I put my second number up top above the second number that I just dropped down. 3 times 4 is 12, so I can subtract it, and I end up with 0, which lets me know that I'm done with the problem. So what is my quotient? 4 2/10 divided by 3 ends up being 1 4/10. It was just like regular long division, except we had to put that decimal right above where it was in the problem at the very beginning. Let's try another example. This time we're going to divide 5 64/100 by 4. So let's set up our long division problem just like last time. Take our dividend and put it underneath the division bracket. So we get 5 64/100 underneath our division bracket. Take our divisor and put it on the outside. And now we can go about dividing as soon as we take that decimal point, and just like last time, put it right above where it is in the division bracket. Now, divide like normal. How many times does 4 go into 5? Goes into there once. 4 times 1 is 4, so we can subtract and we get 1. Bring down our 6. How many times does 4 go into 16? Well, it goes into it 4 times evenly. So that is 16. 4 times 4 is 16. Scoot this up a little. And when we subtract, we end up with 0. But even though we have a 0, we still have one more number in our dividend that we got to work with. So let's bring down that 4. 4 goes into 4 once. 4 times 1 is 4. We subtract, and we get 0. And since we are done bringing down numbers from the dividend, we are done with the problem. And our quotient is up here, and it already has its decimal where it needs to go. So 5 and 64 hundredths divided by 4 is equal to 1 and 41 hundredths. Alright, we'll do one more example. Hopefully you have a piece of paper and you can try it on your own, and then check through your work with me. For the last example, we are going to divide 52 and 5/10 by 7. If you want, pause the video, set up your problem, and try to divide it out on your own. And then when you're finished, start playing the video again and see if your answer matches mine. Well, first we got to set it up. So our dividend goes under the division bracket, and our divisor goes outside. 7 cannot go into 5, so I can put a 0 up top there. And then it can go into 52. And it goes into 52 7 times. Oops, let's make that blue. 7 times. So 7 times 7 is 49. Subtract, and we get 3. Now bring down the 5, and we have 35. So then 35 divided by 7, or 7 goes into 35 5 times. So that gives us 35. We subtract, and we end up with 0. Well, now we have our answer up here, and you might have noticed I didn't put the decimal up there right away. And that was just because I didn't. We can do it at the beginning of the problem, or we can do it at the end. So I put that decimal up there, and now we have our quotient, which ends up being 7 and 5/10. So there you have it. When we are dividing decimals by a whole number, we use our long division model like we just did. We take the decimal in our dividend and we move it up to above the division bracket, exactly on top of where it was. And then we can divide like normal. Hope this has made some sense, not too difficult for you. Feel free to subscribe if you enjoyed the video and want to watch more. And good luck in your mathematical endeavors.